People think I'm lying, but I always tell them I really didn't know I was bowling 900 till the last shot. I just let my body take over, and through the years of practicing, when you feel like you're a human robot, I think that's what got me through the whole night.
For most league bowlers, a 300 game is a dream that is rarely achieved. In order for it to count, it has to happen in a league or it has to happen in a tournament. If it happens in practice, it's like it doesn't count. Say the pinnacle achievement for most league bowlers would be a 900 series, a perfect 36 strikes in a 3-game trip to league. A 900 series is a very rare feat. We began keeping records in 1895, and since then, it's only happened 21 times.
It was just another night. It was just another Monday night. And had no idea he was going to be spectacular that night.
I always have a routine. I would always get to the bowling center and bowl a couple games before I bowl league. That night was funny because I didn't really have a good practice. First frame was a powerful strike. Frame by frame, I just got more confident.
You know, I'd seen Bill bowl other 300s, so I knew he was capable of it. So the first one was, it was good, but it was not that big a deal because it wasn't unusual.
When I walk into Plano Super Bowl, people put me on a different level, a different shelf. I mean, it feels like home. When I walk in, I know everybody there. I know it so well, I know every lane in that place. They have 48 lanes, and I have every lane memorized.
He bowls 5-6 times a week. Everything's bowling. That's all he does. He doesn't have a girlfriend or wife or family. Bill lives all by himself. Everything is bowling. That's his entire life.
Keeping the high standard of bowling and being a good bowler is, you got to make it your life.
When he gets going right, he's a robot. When he gets lined up, you know, watch out.
First ball into the next game, he comes up to me and says, you know, he's thinking about changing balls, which is kind of unheard of whenever you have such a great string.
From what I hear, people just say, hey, you're striking a lot. Why are you switching balls? I would stick with the same ball.
During the night, there's a lot of people that throw powerful balls, and it picks up the oil and moves it. So you pretty much have to move sometime during the night, at least once, to stay lined up. One thing that Bill does that I don't know if it's I don't have the courage to do or the good sense to do, is when I'm on a streak like that, I don't change anything. And that's one reason why the achievement's so hard to do, is because most people aren't going to be changing bowling balls and moving like he did.
It was kind of a gutsy call, but I did it. And sure enough, I just kept on striking. Being a bowler is controlling your emotions. And the only emotion I couldn't control that night was just laughing.
The second game, I started coming down and hollering and screaming at him to keep him loose.
When you look up on the monitors and you see a bunch of strikes in a row in the second game, people start to think, well, man, there's something special going on here.
And that's when I felt like I achieved something, because I've never done that before, shoot bowl with 2 300s. And I was amazed that night because they hardly announced any of my 300s I shoot. So they announced that I had 2. I think that's when it caught all the bowlers' attention in all 48 lanes, that I just threw back-to-back 300s. I went to high school with Michelle Obama, and high school across the street was a bowling center. I became like a high school dropout because I became a bowling fanatic. I had a friend that told me, if you want to make money, that I should move up from juniors and join adult bowling. And once I joined adult bowling, so you're bowling till 8 in the morning, and then you're having breakfast in the morning. You know, I made a living from bowling, hustling. But then I quit when I got married. So I quit bowling for a good 10 to 13 years. So one day, it just hit me. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get back in the bowling. See, my problem is, and I think that's an Asian thing, is being a perfectionist and being #1 and being the best. And I just told him, well, give me a couple years, I'll be the best bowler in this house. That's why I bowl so much, because of the 10, 13 years that I just gave up bowling. Because I always promised myself I will never quit bowling again.
It's one thing to bowl 1-300 and to mentally gear yourself to where you don't get too excited until you finish. And then to start off the third game and to keep it going, it was amazing.
The adrenaline started picking up. I'm like, well, I didn't know I could do this all night long. When people get nervous, they start getting slow. In the beginning of the first 5 frames, I kept on telling myself, just throw it hard, just throw it hard.
About the 5th or 6th frame, I turned to my team members and I said, I think we're watching history here, because we're not going to probably ever see this again.
And I said, now let's put on a show. I'm like, let's go ahead and let's throw your best strikes you ever threw in your life. And everybody keeps on telling me, you must have been nervous. I was like, not really, with all the support. I was really laughing, and I'm telling you, and people think I'm lying, 900 was the furthest thing from my mind. I wasn't even thinking of it.
About the 6th or 7th strike, I'm really nervous for him. I want to see him get that third 300 game.
This was a zone that I'd never been in before. So I was like, how do I stay in the zone? Oh, a buzz was in the air. You're gonna hear a lot of mumbling in the background, and you're like, this just happened. Oh, wow, I can't believe I'm witnessing this. So I'm standing there ready to throw the ball, and there's hundreds of people behind me, and you couldn't hear a pin drop.
He was like a robot. I mean, every shot seemed like it was the same. He was just in a groove.
Going to the first shot, I adjusted my feet because I knew the oil was evaporating, and I just said, stay firm. It hit the pocket, it came in high. That's the first time I thought I was gonna miss. The 9-pin was still standing, so a pin from nowhere hits the 9, and then the crowd erupted. So I moved, and I moved 1-to-1 with my feet, and sure enough, the next shot, I did the same thing. I just went up there, threw firm, but it was a perfect strike. You know, some people, they wait too long till they throw their last shot for like a 300. I got my feet on the approach real quick, and I was trying to memorize the speed that I just threw the second shot, because the longer you wait, you might get nervous. And I threw it.
Everybody up here off his hand thought it was a perfect ball.
And the crowd was already cheering. That's when it hit me that I had a chance for 900. There's my chance of getting a bowling contract.
I just said, fall. Please fall. I think everybody was wishing it down. I wanted to go down.
They don't give contracts to people that were just short from getting one. So I went home and, you know, cell phone going off like crazy. So I cooked some soup. All of a sudden, I felt like vomiting. Went to the bathroom and went from just vomiting the soup that I had into blood. And then when the blood came out, I knew something was wrong. I thought something is really weird going on. Growing up Asian, you don't go to doctors. The doctor was my grandmother. She was the doctor, you know? And I just thought that I would go to sleep and this would just go away. And I remember when I was vomiting, I said, I can't believe I just had the best bowling night I ever had, and I feel like I'm dying. And the next day, I woke up, I was happy I woke up because I'm like, okay, I survived the night. And I just think whatever happened to me would just go away.
Somebody had asked him if he was satisfied with it, if he was happy about setting the state record and getting such accomplishment. He said no, that he still left one pin.
The state record, Bill now holds with the 899.
I can't believe a 900's never been bowled here in Texas. And now to be lucky to have a Texas record. Being Asian, you know, amazes me. I don't think a lot of people believe I even have the record here because they expect a real true Texan. I'm not a real true Texan.
They said that if he had been hours later, that they probably would have killed him. He probably wouldn't be here right now.
I was talking to the heart surgeon, he says, you know, hey, you got to make sure he doesn't bowl for 6 months. And as soon as I told Bill that, he says, I'm bowling tomorrow, you know?
And then I think 3 months right after that, first thing I did was I shot 300.
I think he's better than he was before just because he doesn't have the problem with his heart now, so maybe he will get that elusive 900.